The Conference of the Parties, known as COP, is the world's most crucial annual climate summit, where 197 nations come together to address the urgent challenges posed by climate change. Established in 1992, the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change serves as the foundation for international efforts to combat climate change. COP acts as the supreme decision-making body for this important treaty. At COP, world leaders, negotiators, and stakeholders gather to assess global progress, negotiate new commitments, and establish rules aimed at mitigating climate change. Landmark agreements like the Paris Accord emerged from these discussions. The meetings, starting with COP1 in Berlin in 1995, mark a continuous effort to advance global climate action. Yet, a new role is emerging for COP, centered on confronting the injustices embedded in the climate crisis. The scientific consensus is alarming. The Earth's atmosphere, akin to a car left in the sun, would normally allow heat to escape. However, the excessive greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels keep this heat trapped, leading to an increase in global temperatures. We have already exceeded the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius target, with projections indicating a catastrophic rise of 2 degrees by 2030. This scenario would make our planet increasingly uninhabitable and trigger severe heat waves. The disproportionate impact of this crisis is evident. Historical emissions from wealthy nations contribute significantly to climate change, while developing countries bear the brunt of rising sea levels, destructive storms, and relentless droughts. This stark inequality reveals a vicious cycle. As climate impacts devastate infrastructure and agriculture in poorer nations, they further entrench poverty and hinder economic development, perpetuating the cycle of suffering. To ignore this disparity is not merely negligence, it is a moral failing. The reluctance of major polluting countries to acknowledge their historical responsibility fosters an environment where denial of climate science undermines necessary actions. This denial acts as a weapon, allowing affluent nations to evade accountability while the poorest populations face the brutal realities of climate-induced challenges. It mirrors exploitative colonial patterns that prioritize a few over the suffering majority. Thus, the role of COP must evolve. It should become a platform that not only negotiates but also directly addresses the underlying injustices of climate change, demanding accountability and equitable solutions for those most affected. Pledging to listen to the lived experiences of climate victims in poorer nations is crucial. Their challenges cannot continue to be sidelined by the inaction and denial prevalent among wealthier nations. Only through mechanisms that recognize loss and damage and ensure fair financing can COP genuinely serve its purpose in addressing the climate crisis, bridging the chasm between the privileged and the vulnerable. As the world prepares for future summits, the stakes have never been higher. The time for meaningful action, justice, and solidarity is now, as the consequences of delay will continue to haunt us all.